Henne and his Farm Show on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com.
A mostly cloudy and damp good morning to some of you. Mostly cloudy for others. Terry Henne here at Radio Center along with Jonathan Dent. And John, we're just having a heck of a time shucking these clouds here.
Yeah, it's been gray and gloomy all week.
Yeah, it has. And can you imagine just, about 5 days ago? We were talking about sunshine and 70
I was
degrees
looking forward to more
day.
of that.
So was I. So that's why I'm afraid to give the forecast for next week. Because we're looking at the same thing. Sunshine, 70. We should hit 80 probably by Sunday.
It is the first full week of fall, so we got to get that in there.
Yeah. Well, whatever. Well, and again, no excuses. We owe it all to a big dome of stuff that's sitting out in the northern Atlantic. I call it stuff because there is a high pressure system out there. There's a prevailing upper level low pressure system out there. And again, this is in the northern Atlantic, and it is literally slowing everything down to snail's pace when it comes to weather systems trying to cut across the North American continent. So as a result, we've got a low pressure system, which is very weak. It's situated over northern Illinois, and that is going to be a nuisance for us here for probably another 24 to 36 hours. So we'll get a little bit more of the same today, tonight, and more than likely the morning hours tomorrow morning before things finally begin to change and shift just a little. Because that low, the upper level low that's currently over northern Illinois, is actually going to drift all the way down into Tennessee and then out into the Carolinas and dissipate, break down, because there is an upper level low off the Carolinas, which is remnants of a tropical storm that finally deteriorated to the point where it's just not there anymore. But that circulation, that counterclockwise circulation, counterclockwise, continues to just spin away and push all that activity back at us. Activity being clouds, a little bit of dampness. But there is a high pressure system right now, which is situated, I want to say it's over Hudson Bay. It's way up in Canada. That thing is going to drop down into the New England states. And eventually down the East Coast, it's going to drop down instead of moving off to the east. And that is going to bring to us a little bit more of a Gulf flow of moisture, but just warmer and a little bit more of a southerly breeze as we get into the weekends. That's going to generate the temperature increase. And that's why we feel a little bit more confident about that long-range forecast for next week, because the long-range forecast is for a continuation of which we haven't seen above normal temperatures, much above normal temperatures. That's going to take us at least into the first 12 to 14 days of the month of October. But let's talk about the current temperatures. Where are we at right now?
Yeah, right now out at the airport under cloudy skies, 61 degrees. Cloudy skies in Midland, where they're at 63. Here at Radio Center, you guessed it, cloudy skies, 62 degrees. As you mentioned, that counterclockwise circulation, east wind at 8 miles per hour right now. And our barometric pressure is at 30.25, holding steady.
If there is any precipitation right now in thicker clouds, it is in the southern part of the Lower Peninsula and the western side of the Lower Peninsula. Upper Peninsula is looking at some pretty nice weather. Nothing like what we're experiencing here. And over the last 24 hours, glorified drizzle was, I guess, probably the best way to describe whatever precipitation we did get. Not much, maybe 1/10 of an inch. Have had a couple of reports over on the west side of the state, southwest, where we were looking at close to a 1/2 inch of rain. But again, those were very isolated, quite spotty. We just didn't see a lot of that materialize, fortunately, for us around here. So 66 is where we should get this afternoon. Spotty sprinkle. There will be an east breeze, and it's going to pick up a little bit more than what we've seen 10, 15 miles per hour, not out of the question. We might even see a 20-mile-per-hour wind gust moving into the later afternoon. But again, the best chance of any precipitation, the southern part and the western part of the lower peninsula. Clouds with a sprinkle here and there. Same basic area tonight, 59 for a low. Sun will set this evening at 7:25, rise tomorrow morning at 7:30. Clouds, I think that's going to be it for tomorrow. I'm not looking for any precipitation tomorrow in the Great Lakes Bay Area. As a matter of fact, there might be even a glimpse of sun as we go into the afternoon. Very slow thinning process overnight of the clouds. But again, our temperature tomorrow is only going to get up to 66. Tomorrow night, 57. So we should be at 69 in the afternoon and 49 at night. So our nighttime temperatures are running above normal. Friday, we're looking for clouds to really thin out and decrease. We should see more sun than clouds on Friday. 74 is what I'm looking at for a high. 55 for a low on Friday night. So any outdoor activity, any football games, any things like that should have a nice Friday night. And moving into the weekend, once again, that has been our salvation the past couple of weekends. Nice weekend weather. Saturday, Sunday, we're looking at temperatures 78 for a high on Saturday with mostly sunny skies, clear skies on Saturday night, 56. Then on Sunday, 80 degrees, sunshine, 56 for a low. Monday and Tuesday, low 80s with mostly sunny skies, 60 degrees for a low on Monday and Tuesday night. Record high in the state is 88. That was set way back in 1946. The record low 29, set in 1989. And again, we had a cool spell last year at this time. For the day, 54 was our high a year ago today.
Really?
48 was our low. We picked up 1/10 of an inch. And over the couple of days, the day before and yesterday, we were picking up a little bit better than a 1/2 inch of rain. For the month of September out at the airport, almost 2.5 inches of rain a year ago. This year at the airport, 84 hundredths.
A lot drier.
Yeah, a lot drier.
Yeah.
But there are some spots in Michigan, especially the Thumb, that have picked up a lot more than 8/10 of an inch of rain here for the month of September. It's been a little bit on the damp side. More on the weather as we go through the broadcast. Standing by, who do we have?
Well, we'll be talking with Cody Harris from Star of the West. He'll start out our market report today. Then we'll head over to Oppenheimer and talk with Doug Klein. All of that's ahead. But first, the weather report today brought to you by the folks at Nutrien Ag Solutions.
Nutrien Ag Solutions has the local expertise to recommend the corn, soybean, and other seed products that are the best fit for your field. Plus, unparalleled agronomic support with products and services to unlock yield potential and improve crop performance from planting to harvest. Ask about our financing options to help you get more from every acre and lead the field. Visit your local Nutrien Ag Solutions branch or go to nutrienagsolutions.com.
They say there's a secret to growing a great crop. At Nutrien Ag Solutions, they beg to differ. It all starts with a strong foundation, and when it comes to fertilizer, there's no question that Titan XE drives dry fertilizer performance. They've been unlocking the potential in every prill of dry fertilizer with biocatalyst technology for over a decade. Visit lpi.ag/Titan or contact your Nutrien Ag Solutions crop consultant to drive your crop's potential today. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Krizak's House Family Restaurant. You got to supply the food for an event coming up. Today, well, I'll give them a break. Maybe the weekend, by the end of the year, even next year. They've got a lot of folks that right now have requested food for events coming up next year. Krizak's House, that's where they go. 989-894-5531. That's the number. You call them up, tell them what you want, pick it up on the day of the event, take it to the event, and you're a hero at your event. Krizak's House. Also a great place to dine in. Corner of Cass in Michigan on Bay City's south side. We say good morning to Cody Harris over at Star of the West. And Cody, are you ready for some sun?
Oh, yeah. It's been waiting for some sun for the last few days, I can tell you that.
Well, I'll tell you. I guess we got to wait till the weekends to get some sunshine. And then everybody wants everything done.
That's exactly right. But I'll take it whenever we can get it this time of year.
Boy, I guess. We'll talk a little bit about some of the crops that are coming in or not coming in just a moment. But what are our markets doing right now?
Well, we definitely have a mixed bag here this morning, guys. Corn and soybeans are actually kind of on the positive side, kind of pretty decently, but wheat's taking a hit, kind of the same old story the last couple of weeks, it seems like. But kind of looking at everything right now, we have cash wheat, that's down 5 at the moment, 534 on the white, 474 on the red. Looking at new crop 2024 wheat, that's down 4, 630 on the white, 555 on the red. Then looking over at corn, cash and new crop corn, that's up 5 at 420. And then cash and new crop soybeans are up 7 at 1230.
So nice little move there. Any particular reasons why?
Yeah, it seems we have on Friday, we have the USDA SEP1 stocks and final small grains report. And I think you're seeing a little volatility, maybe some short covering in the corn and soybean arena ahead of that report. I think traders are thinking that they might see a decline in some U.S. corn stocks as well as bean stocks as well. So that's kind of where you're getting a little bit of movement on those two sides. But then kind of flipping on the wheat side of things, it seems like, Russia's still dominating that world export business. And as far as the report for wheat, we may see a 16-year low as far as stocks is concerned, but as well as that, I think we're seeing all-time lows as far as wheat export. So it's probably going to cancel itself out, which is where you're going to see this weakness at, or at least that's what traders are thinking today. We'll find out on Friday.
Yeah, Friday's going to be a big day, end of quarter, that report, and just to take a look and see what we're going to be faced with here the last 3 months of the year. Speaking of that, have we seen, and I asked Gary Kaufman the other day, he wasn't really aware of any soybeans coming in. Have you seen anything?
As far as locally here, I don't think we've seen anything in the Saginaw Valley area, maybe the Frankenmuth, Richville area, Garrett area. Haven't seen any soybeans, but as far as dry beans, I know we're rocking and rolling maybe 30% locally here as far as dry beans are concerned. Coming off, quality looks really good. But I'm going to say it's probably not going to be too long until we see some beans come out of the field.
Yeah. And as far as the corn goes, talked to a gentleman yesterday who was telling me that he went out, took a look at his corn, grabbed 6 cobs of corn in roughly a 50-yard radius in one field. And one of the cobs was so full that you couldn't have slid another kernel in, and dented and ready to harvest. All the way from that to dough stage, he found within that 50-yard radius in one field.
Oh my goodness!
We got a little, we got a little action going on in those fields. I'm hearing there's more of that than a lot of people know.
Yeah, even a couple of the guys that I've talked to here locally, it seems like it was all kind of weather dependent, whether you got some rain and it was even on one side of the field or not, whether it, weather kind of going out throughout this entire year has been kind of spotty. I know guys are very similar with a field, a couple hundred yards down the road, got one that, like I said, is a dent to the other one's in dough stage. And it's, one got, a little bit more rain than the other one, but they were planted about the same time frame. So it could get interesting. I don't know really what the cause of that is, but it kind of seems that may be the consensus here anyways. But that's definitely not an oddball. It seems to be kind of going all across the region here.
No, it sure does. Cody, you take care. Have a great day, okay?
Yep, you as well, Terry.
Will do. Cody Harris over at Star of the West. Standing by, who do we have, Jonathan?
We'll be talking with Doug Klein from Oppenheimer. The market report today brought to you by Schaefer and Beerline. The seasons are changing, and so is the new Ram truck inventory at Schaefer and Beerline in Frankenmuth. 2023 HDs are still coming in, and the 2024 1500s are arriving. So if you're in the market for a new Ram 1500, a Ram heavy-duty pickup, a ProMaster van, or a Ram commercial truck, and you want to buy with confidence from a business-link dealer that knows what customer satisfaction truly is, then it's time to go to Schaefer and Beerline in Frankenmuth, where family and service sells cars. Market Report also brought to you by Thumb Bank and Trust. They've been making agricultural loans since 1895. Farming today continues to offer challenges that are very demanding, and Thumb Bank and Trust helps you stay up to date on industry trends and the trends of your operation. Thumb Bank and Trust, now with 13 locations throughout the Thumb and in the Great Lakes Bay region. Thumb Bank and Trust, where relationships are built on trust. Let's say good morning to Doug Klein from Oppenheimer. Doug, how are things going?
Well, things are kind of sort of mixed today. The dollar is a bit higher. That's not good. Crude oil, the stocks were drawn down, and that was not expected to be that bad. So crude oil is up $3.30 at 93.69. So now we know why they got the price of gas at $3.59 here. They knew that was coming, so they were just
Well, and
ready.
it's probably going to go higher too.
Glad I filled up yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, momentum and all that stuff going on. Yeah, so that's not good. Mortgage rates are at 23-year highs. That's a little bit problematic for the real estate market. What else? Precious metals, they're down 1.5, almost 2% today. So they're not giving any relief to investors. The stock market was up this morning about 0.4%, a little bit of a bounce off yesterday's debacle, and then they lost all of that. And now the Dow is down 0.4, S&P is down 0.25%, and the Nasdaq's down 0.2. So I don't know. It's scary times. Jamie Dimon said that we should prepare for 7% Fed interest rates. I mean, that would be a disaster. We're at 5.5 now. If they actually moved up another 1.5%, that would be sort of kind of ugly. And I saw NextEra hit a new low today. You know, NextEra is the big utility that backs all the windmills, or not all of them, but quite a substantial amount of the windmills around here. And they back that with debt. And with interest rates going up, you just never know what's around the bend for all that stuff. So cross your fingers and forge ahead. But here's your numbers. December corn is $4.85 3/4, up 6 cents. March corn is $5, up 5.5 cents. The November soybeans, $13.08 3/4, up 6. March soybeans, $13.41.5, up 8 3/4. December wheat is $5.82, down 7. And March wheat is $6.09, down 7 1/4. Crude oil is $93.55, up $3.16. Heating oil is $323.58, that's up 6.5 cents. Gasoline is $256.53, that's up 4.9 cents. Natural gas is $2.92 1/4, that is up 8 cents. Over to currencies, Canadian dollar, U.S. dollar buys $1.3512 Canadian. That's basically unchanged. The dollar buys 149.41 yen. That's up 36 ticks. The euro's at 105.18, down 52 ticks. The dollar's at 106.54, up 31 ticks. Gold's at 1882.10, down 19.50 an ounce. Silver's 22.84, down 35.5 cents. And platinum's at 890. That's down 17.10 an ounce.
Nope. Yep. Just another day in paradise.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. There we go.
Yeah.
Doug, we'll talk to you tomorrow.
Very good.
All right. Take care. Doug Klein over at Oppenheimer. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Freeland Bean and Grain. A lot of you getting ready to do some work on the land once you do get the crops off, and some of you are already working some wheat in. Might be a really good idea if you got any questions. Freeland Bean and Grain's Vic Huffer, who's a certified crop advisor, can help you. He can assist you with any questions you might have. That's what it's all about at Freeland Bean and Grain. Serving you, yeah, they've been doing it since 1983. Serving you is their business at Freeland Bean and Grain. We'll take a break, and then who do we have, Jonathan?
We'll be talking with Jerry Samolsky from Bay Landscaping and Garden Center right after this.
Do you have a yield monitor in your combine? Do you print off a pretty picture every year, but you don't know what to do with it? Why don't you have PC Ag Solutions analyze your data to help you make profitable decisions for the upcoming season? We can help you analyze your data from your planter, sprayer, or combine and compare it to your soil types and nutrient availability. Anything from the planting date to your speed, population, and variety to elevation, drainage, and in-season applications. We can help you make the most profitable decision on your farm. Call us today, 989-868-4444. Well, the list has come out. The Michigan Department of Agriculture has announced specialty crop block grants that have been made available to a number of recipients. One of them just so happens to be the Michigan Nursery and Landscape Association. They're going to pick up $100,000. They're going to be talking about things like glyphosate, post and pre-emergent herbicide combinations, and some other things. That's what they need the money for, to research that. Along with us, Jerry Samalski, Bay Landscaping and Garden Center in Essexville. And Jerry, I think that's $100,000 well spent, don't you think?
It is, Terry. So what a lot of that research goes to is like a farmer has, 1,000 acres, 100 acres, acres of soybean, wheat, or a common crop, where a nursery in 100 acres, you might be growing, 20 different species, 30, 50 different species of plants in that same acreage. And so the research is really important because of the vast numbers of species of plants that we grow, and how do these different pesticides affect their growth long term. So that's a lot of what that's used for, and a lot more research can be done. This has been going on for about 8-10 years at Michigan State, so it's been very helpful to the industry.
Now, what should we be looking for right now in our front yard or backyard?
Terry, it sounds kind of funny, but we've received numerous calls about people concerned about leaves falling on their trees, and is that a problem? Well, it's this time of year. Some plants will start shedding a little bit sooner, and they're not completely dropped, but it's okay that leaves start falling out, even though they haven't really turned color, and a lot of the true fall season hasn't been upon us. But it's coming. Leaves falling. It's normal. And again, we're getting some calls with the evergreens with the needles turning brown, and that's typically on the inside. And if it is, that's not a problem. If the outer needles on the edge of the branches are getting brown, that could be a problem. But needles dropping on the inside, that's an annual event, not an issue.
All right. Coming up tomorrow, the plant of the week, right-o?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we'll talk to you then. Jerry Samalski, Bay Landscaping and Garden Center in Essexville. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at the Frankenmuth Credit Union. They do have lines of credit, equipment loans, financing for purchasing land, credit cards, and more. Stop by any of their conveniently located offices and see how they can become your hometown financial solution. You can find out more by going to frankenmuthcu.org. Coming up now, Jonathan, who's on the board?
We'll say good morning to Travis Christian from Nutrien Ag Solutions. Travis, how are things going?
Great. How are you guys today?
Hey, we're doing fantastic, Travis. What are you running into these days with our farmers?
Well, as early crops are starting to come off, we've got dry beans coming off in spots. We've got the occasional soybean field getting peeled off, and silage is off in a lot of areas, and starting to think about fall fertility. And I think one of the biggest challenges we face with that is just how much of that fertilizer is actually available in the first year after we apply it. And it might actually surprise you. For phosphorus, it's only up to 30% available in the first year. Potash, we can be anywhere from 20 to 60%. It depends on our soil type and our microbiological community, but Titan is a great way to enhance that. Titan's a dry fertilizer biocatalyst that is exclusive to Nutrien Ag Solutions. And we've had a lot of growers be really successful with it at capturing more of that fertilizer in that first year, because if you spend your money on it, don't you really want to be able to take advantage of it?
Oh, you sure do. Oh, great advice. Travis, you take care. Have a great day, okay?
Yeah, thanks, Terry. Have a great day.
I will, you too. Travis Christian over at Nutrien Ag. Let's talk a little bit more about lawns, Jonathan. Chuck Servinski from Maple Hill Nursery joining me right now. And Chuck, the lawns really look lush, but there are a few lawns that have some patches in them right now.
Yeah, and this is a perfect spot time of the year to take and patch those spots in the lawn. It's end of September. It's just the timing is perfect. We've got two great products from Morgan Composting that can help you with your lawn patching. One of them is Topsoil Blend. It's a blend of topsoil, peat, and dairy dew. Works really well for patching those larger spots in the lawn, and you're going to want to put it down about an inch thick when reseeding. It's got topsoil, peat, and dairy dew in it. Seed Starter 101 works really well for those smaller patches, maybe where the dog may have ruined a spot here and there in the lawn. It's a seed germination mix and works really well with grass seed. You're going to want to wet it down first and put it down about an inch thick or so, and you can plant the grass directly in it. It's got plenty of nutrients to get that grass growing.
And you've got those products at the store, right?
We do. We've got them in bags. Stop in today and let us show you how to do it with Dairy Dew products from Morgan Composting.
Chuck Cervinsky, we'll talk to you on Friday. Chuck Cervinsky, Maple Hill Nursery over in Midland. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Steiner Tractor. New parts for old tractors made easy. 800-234-3280. Or go to their website at steinertractor.com. And by Quality Roasting of Reese, offering competitive, consistent prices for your soybeans. Give them a call for a quote today. Back at 12:30. Now we conclude with the playing of our national anthem.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW FM.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Steve Kathan. A new twist in the bizarre story of an American serviceman who was last seen entering North Korea. CBS's Cammie McCormick.
A Pentagon spokesman says U.S. officials have secured the return of Private Travis King from North Korea. He is said to be in good health and good spirits. He sprinted across the border into North Korea 2 months